G'day punters, welcome to Victims of the Punt. We're talking the Hunter, Newcastle. It's arguably New South Wales' best track, Mark Shean, and they've had 80 plus mils in the last, 36 hours or so, but won't really make a difference to the track there by Saturday.
No, some rain overnight, which went from a dead 5 to a slow 7. But very good draining track and very hot day predicted today, Friday. So would expect it to improve dramatically through the day. What do you think, Mark?
Yeah, it's a funny track, Newcastle, on the times they run there. You know, even when they give it out as good, it seems they sort of run slow track times, but visually there doesn't seem to be much wrong with the surface. They're not kicking it up or anything like that. It is. Since I did some work on it a few years back, it does drain very well. I wouldn't be surprised if it was back to the 5 range or something tomorrow.
Okay, so with that in mind, we've got rail true. Are you expecting a certain pattern to emerge during the day at all?
Look, the last 2 times in true on different surfaces have been a bit inside. Newcastle Cup Day, the Friday meeting, was very on pace and inside. It was very hard to come from the back, make any ground. And the meeting they've had since in the true wasn't that dramatic, but was still an on-pace plus, I'd say, which is sort of a bit counterintuitive because you'd think a nice big track like Newcastle in the true would give most a chance, but just on the recent stats in particular, you don't really want to get too far back.
Okay.
Even years gone by, they've protected that inside, and some of their big meetings have been very on-pace buys. So, and even the Hunter, we've only had 2 runnings, but it's been very on-pace as well. So we'll just have to see how things play out.
Okay, so we'll be previewing races 6 through 10, so bear that in mind, punters, as we start the card. Race 6 is the Beauford, which is $300,000 over 2,300 metres. Favourite is Shared Ambition at $3.60, best available as of Friday morning, with King's Charisma at $4.60. We've got Kiss the Bride at $5, Hush Rider at $8, Torrens at $8.50. He runs away at $9.50. Mark Shean, do you have any thoughts here in race 6?
No, not a race I'm overly wrapped in. Look, I thought Kiss the Bride was a very negative ride from a wide barrier the other day. I think he'll position up a lot closer in the run. I got him running about 4th or 5th. He might even race closer than that. I think he sets up nicely for this race. Shared Ambition looks unders to me. Just been plodding away at his last couple of runs. And I thought Yonkers might be an improver. He didn't get a lot of room in the straight the other day at a vital stage and was warming up late. Look, not a race I'm overly wrapped in, but I thought Kiss the Bride, if you wanted to have a play, might be the way to go.
Okay. Mark Rhoden, any thoughts here in the Beauford?
Yeah, I think he's overs, Kiss the Bride. Good run behind Think It Over last time. Better run than Shared Ambitions, I thought. And it's quite considerably longer price. I think it's a reasonable bet. I agree. I think Shared Ambition is too short. Look, his very best form would win this, you'd suggest, but a lot of those peak runs have been with Joe McDonald on his back, and he's got the Apprentice on tomorrow, which, I wouldn't be taking a short price with the Apprentice on, to be honest. And then the rest of them, well, King's Charisma is definitely the query runner. Hasn't actually set the world on fire yet, but taking on Mar Eustace at 2,300 metres in this distance range is fraught with danger. I could consider saving on it. They're not taking any risks with it, and I don't blame them. But it's sort of a bit hard to come up with 7 to 2 for me. Then the others under 10 to 1. You've got Torrens. There's 2 of him. I mean, his best could win. He can go through the roof sometimes, but he seems to just soar and fall crazily in his ratings. So you have to take him on trust, but could win. Hush Rider. I mean, it was backed into $4 last start off no form and got beaten 6 lengths. I mean, he'll be on speed again, but, up to you if you want to back him again. And he runs away. Good win in Brisbane last time and big weight drop, but that looks like a bit of an outlier in his recent form anyway, and he's getting on. If he can put 2 together, he's in the race, I suppose, but that is the little query on him. I think Kiss the Bride's a solid enough bet at $5.
Okay. Race 7 is the first leg of the quaddie. It's the Spring Stakes for the 3-year-olds, Group 3 over the mile. Festival Dancer is $5. You've got De Fresnay at $7, so's Kokoro, and Arnica's $7.50. Lisa's $8, contributing factors $9.50. You've got Lock Eagle at $11, War Eternal and Holstein at $13 apiece. So it's a pretty congested market. Mark Shean.
Yeah, look, it's an interesting race. A lot of lightly raced horses. We've got 7 last start winners going around. I've just gone a little bit wide here. I thought that War Eternal looked very fat first up, was backed in a stakes race. It was 3 wide and a limb last week against the older horses in the Zoo Shack race. Thought he'd drop off, and then on the line again he was holding his ground quite well. I don't think he's looked fit to my eye, and I think this has probably been a race he's been set for. So I just think at the value, soft draw, Josh Parr goes on. I thought he was a bit of value around the $12, $14 mark. Look, Festival Dance is racing well. She's won the last 3. I backed her first couple of starts, and I thought, I'm scratching my head. I'm an imbecile, but she's come good now. And she has won at the mile 3 times, so that's probably in her favour, and she's on pacer, so she's got some chance. But, there's Lisa's got National Wheeler on. It bolted for the rider the other day, the Apprentice, and Nash, a much stronger rider, and he's got a chance as well. But, just going a little bit wide, 5 on an each-way basis from 10.
Okay, very good. We'll have Rob Scurry in the yard as well at Newcastle, so we'll be looking to see what his thoughts are on the day. Mark Rhoden, anything for yourself in the Spring Stakes?
Yeah, just at the odds, I think it's a race with quite a few chances in it. But Lease and Holstein, Mark mentioned Lease just then. It went way too hard in front for the Apprentice last time, and Holstein was able to run it down. They've run 0.9 of a second faster than the open age 72 on the same day, which for that level of 3-year-old and for this class of 3-year-old isn't too bad. Admittedly, they were different sort of pace profiles, those 2 different races, but that's, they've done it on the clock there. They're both a bit deep in their prep, 5th, 6th up, I think, the pair of them. But that was a fast and high rating race, and you're getting a price. I think I can back that form line. I leaned to Lease with the jockey change over Holstein, but the market sort of reflects that as well. Thought Dufresne could be some sort of chance if it's playing the leaders, and he was able to get across to either lead or outside lead. And there were quite a few other chances in the race as well. Lock Eagle, Arnica. Look, Festival Dancer, I know she beat Lease a few starts back at Kembla, but that was on a heavy 10, and she sort of maintained that level. Big win last up, didn't beat anything. She's in the race, but I think she's probably short enough. So that's pretty much the way I see it.
Alrighty, well, the Hunter, time-honoured, race 8 of 1,300 metres, has Lost and Running as favourite. Top Ranked, which is having its first start in Australia, former British horse, is $4.80. Bandersnatch is $7.50. And then everything else is in double figures. So if you don't like anything at the top end, you're going to get a price. Mark Shean, how are you approaching Top Ranked to start with?
Yeah, look, he's a bit of a head scratcher. He was in the Golden Eagle, and I think there was no money for him at all. And next minute, a jump out's come to light. It's been played on social media where he beat some of those horses in the lead up to the Golden Eagle, where he jumped and led in that trial and was able to beat them. And next minute, he's $4.80. He's off the map. So, look, I've watched just about all his runs in the UK. He's never raced under a mile, so massive question mark whether he's sharp enough here. He does have good wet form. He won impressively on wet ground a couple of times in his Group 1 place. So he's obviously a query, but I just don't know about him at 1,300 metres and at $4.80. So he looks short enough to me at this stage. He might come out and bolt in. I don't know. Look, Lost and Running's a class runner. He just needs luck. If the track's only a 5, I think he'll get away with it. If it's any worse, I'd be a little bit worried. But he sat 3 wide and took ground off Eduardo. It was a massive run. He won 5th up last time in, so that should be no concern. I think Prime Candidate might be a roughie here to possibly lead on the fence. I know 1,300 metres might be stretching it a little bit with him, but thought he got lost a little bit down the straight the other day, and he comes in better at the weights here. So I think the favourite's on top for me. The only other one I could find there would be Prime Candidate. Wonder Bar it, but mightn't be wet enough for her.
Okay, so $16 best available for Prime Candidate at the moment. Mark Rhoden, how are you approaching this race?
Pretty similar, to be honest. I think, Lost and Running's... The barrier's the query, isn't it? It's on my map, I've got him getting across to outside lead. Obviously, going to have to use a bit of petrol to do that. There is still a chance that... Look, I'm assuming that Prime Candidate leads. It's just a question of whether something like Bandersnatch or Dawn Passage wants to, be a pest and kick up underneath Lost and Running. It could be posted 3 wide. I know in the official club map they've got him 3 wide, and it's a possibility of happening. And it probably just gives you a little bit of pause if you, about taking $3. I think if you're drawing 6 or something, that's a 240 chance. But just echo all the things Mark said. Just class, right? Clearly the strongest 4 minds, best figures. The light, he's just got a little bit of weight to give away to them, but I don't think that's enough to stop him. Top Rank, clearly a very good horse. He's up to it, but yeah, the fact he'd never run, even started below a mile, also stood out to me. So it'd be I think on ability he's right in the race, but it'd be a sensational training performance to win first up in this country in a race like this. And the price is a bit short for me to find out, to be honest. And my next best was race up. Bandersnatch and Standout for 3rd and 4th picks. But, Lost and Running clearly on top. Just have to weigh up whether I want to take $3 from that barrier.
Okay. Race 9 is a benchmark 78 over 1,400 metres. We have Norwegian Bliss's favourite at 3.30 from Fashionel at 5.50. Grand Rumba at 7.50. Tinker McPhee is $8. Zuda Moon is $9. Miss Einstein's 11. Rossa at 13. Mark Shean, anything in race 9?
Well, Miss Einstein's going to run tonight by the looks of it. So actually I was going to back it here, but it's running at Canterbury tonight. So that'll wait for this evening. An even sort of bunch of horses. Grand Rumore was very disappointing at Warwick Farm last time out. Prior to that, its 2 runs were very good. So I'm willing to forgive that run on a sloppy Warwick Farm track where she got back and just never got in the race. She's since barrier trialled on a home track and trialled quite well. Got barrier 1 with Hugh Bowman. So I think at the price I'd prefer to go her way. Norwegian Bliss is undefeated, but she ran slow time at Canterbury. She goes out to 1,400 metres. I don't think that's a concern, but she did get very worked up before the race the other day at Canterbury. So I know the trainer said in an interview that he wasn't concerned with that, but she still was a bundle of energy before the race and sweating and on the toes. So it's not a great sign if you want to be on a favourite, really, is it? And away from that, Tinker McPhee's a query here. Its 2 runs in Australia have been so-so, but it has had excuses and it has trialled okay in McDonald's on, so I got a question mark against it. Fashionel went okay the other day in a stronger race, but I just saw it 7 for a bit of value.
Okay, Mark Rhoden?
I've got Norwegian Bliss on top, but I couldn't have it as short as the market, to be honest. She's undefeated. Look, it wasn't anything to write home about at Canterbury last start on the clock, but both she and Sulamere, who'd been impressive Newcastle winners to start before, were both rated down in that race. Maybe she'll go better back to the bigger track at Newcastle. That's why I've got her on top. But I'd want a lot bigger price than this, so I couldn't have it 9-4. Put it that way. Fashionel, I think, will give a sight from the front. Not sure about the jockey, but if she's just going straight to the front, hopefully that's not too big of a factor. I gave it a chance. Look, Barossa Rose is going to be in the firing line. I didn't think it could run even 1,300 metres, but it only gave up in the last 50 of the 1,500 metre race the other day. So she's had a really good prep. I thought she might be a little bit of value, not huge, but some value. And then there's a stack of middle pin chances in this race, to be honest, as the betting suggests. Norwegian Bliss on top, but not keen to bet in the race at this stage.
All right, here comes race 10. Benchmark 88 over 1,300 metres, and Gravina is favourite once more. $2.70 from Catalan at 4.20. Everything else is in double figures, started with much better at 11. Never Talk and Acquitted at $12. Mark Shean, one more time with Gravina, or you had enough?
Well, I suppose the sting out of the track will suit him, but no, I'm with the stablemate Catalan. If the track is only a dead 4 to 5, I'd be very happy to be with her, actually. Sectionals she ran the other day were outstanding off a very slowly run race in front. Silver Rose just set herself up to win the race, and Catalan was still able to wear her down. So I think I got a running sub 33 the last 600 there. So I think if she can back that up on a track that's improving, I think she'll be hard to beat. Gravina, obviously, the danger, gets a bit of cut out of the track, but he's worn us down, or he's worn me down anyway.
Just having a quick look through, it's the first time that James McDonald has sat on Gravina, so that might be the magic bullet, but also at the same time, it might not be. Mark Rhoden, any thoughts for yourself?
I've pretty much found the market. I've got Gravina on top. I think due to primarily to the JMac on factor, could well do the trick. Yeah, I mean, he's been costly, but he hasn't done much wrong. He did run third last time, but one was to Quantico, who Dicko thinks is the best horse in Australia, I think, from what he's been talking about it. And Volpine, who can just pull out a huge run at the Randwick 1200 on a day. He's run third. He's been disappointing if you backed him like I did, but he's still going really well, and now gets JMac. I think he's top pick, but 260 now, 270. No, not for me. Cattle in the massive danger. You could make a case it's really one of the two should win. Look, I found one as a rough danger to them. It's giving them weight, and it's first up. But Grand Piano with Nash on, he's a talented horse on his day. He's had two look like hidden trials to me, and the booking of Nash suggests that it's ready to show something. Whether it can turn over the two Godolphin runners it's giving weight to, I don't know. But at 25 to 1, I might have something on to find out. But look, it's a really good race. You know, I mean, you've got a fast start winner, like on the lead, who'd been a bit of a market horse, going around at $19. That gives you an indication of the depth of the race. It's 6 from 12 for me, but might spec the 2 at big odds.
Okay, I like it. That brings us to the end. I'll get your best players on the card. Mark Shean, I'll start with you.
Look, it looks a good meeting. I thought Sacred Command would run well in race number 2. He's been luckless in weaker races his last 2 starts, but they did elect to scratch him for Canterbury to run in this stronger race, which is a good lead. Tommy Berry goes on. Got a big weight pull on Mar and Par, who should get a very soft lead again, unfortunately, but Sacred Command hopefully won't get too far away. And I thought Casino Kid in race number 3 has been racing quite well and is worth a spec also, but probably Sacred Command the best of the day.
Okay, Sacred Command there on the card, $3.90 best available in race 2. Mark Rhoden, your best play on the card?
I don't mind the look of backing Lease and Holstein in the Spring Stakes, race 7, and probably my best bet of the day is going to be, despite the big weight, Love Tap in race 5 with Nash back on. I think that might be the key, and especially if it's playing on pace, I expect him to take it to the front, take the race by the scruff of the neck. There's a few chances in the race, but I think he's the clear top pick.
Okay, $4.40 there for Love Tap is the best price on Friday morning. Thank you very much to you both. We'll catch up next week. We've got Hunter Week this Saturday, and then next week we've got the Gong out at Kembla Grange. And then it settles back into, the Christmas racing, isn't it, Mark Shean, over the next couple of weeks after that?
Yeah, the Villiers will be the next big race after the Gong, so that's a couple of weeks after that again. So, yeah, we've got some big meetings coming up in the next couple of weeks and tomorrow.
All right, we'll just keep things ticking over until the new year. Thank you very much to you both. All the best for the weekend.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Mark.